like some being advisor to them, right? And some being a chief of staff for them. That is true. Matlab, you can search it on LinkedIn as well. You had a good rationale and reason for the stream that you would want to enter.
Oh,
Yeah.
sir, is there any suggestion to make the policy transition while answer little bit more foolproof?
Second good point was in the YMBA part, you give 3 points. So, what major reasons made you like to choose MBA? Because I am assuming that when you choose this college, this stream, you would be in 12th. Hi, Anindya. So, we will start with the interview. So, first of all, just brief me about yourself, na?
Sure, sir. So, this is Anindya Chatterjee, currently pursuing my integrated program in management from Ahmedabad. I hail from Delhi, the land of power, politics, and lately pollution. I come from a family of educators, with my father being a professor at a government college and my mother being a teacher. Apart from my academic pursuits, have taken part in several intercollegiate events like debates and essay competitions. I also, command proficiency a little bit in academic writing with two publications in the form of books, with one on defense indigenization and the second one on philosophical reasons behind income inequality. Apart from that, I don the hat of an avid reader and I'm an active connoisseur of sports like cricket and football from a viewer perspective. I'm really excited towards this interview and thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, Anindya. So, what did you told me about your educational background? May I know that?
Sure, sir. So I have completed my plus two in science with maths, physics, and chemistry, and I am currently pursuing my integrated program in management from Anindya.
Okay. So, like, which year currently this is?
This is the final and third year of my undergraduation, sir.
Final year. Okay, great. So, since you're already in the coveted program by Amindor, so like, was it a planned way that you wanted to pursue MBA after this, or you just came in Amindor for but just by like anything without any plan? How what is?
So, sir, it was a mixture of both. So I was originally an engineering aspirant, but midway through the journey, I realized that I'm a sort of an individual who prefers, undertaking a multifaceted curriculum with an exposure to a variety of subjects at a particular level. So, therefore, IPM as a program naturally attracted me because of the range of disciplines which has been offered here. Apart from that, I valued the peer learning which would be offered at a premier B school like I am in the and the industry exposure which I would get before sitting for, let's say, my jobs at any college. So these are a few of the reasons which propelled me towards management and the IPM program at I am in the particularly since my class 12.
So basically, you are saying that it was planned that you would be then pursuing MBA, right?
Yes, sir, more or less.
Okay. So, what major reasons made you like to choose MBA? Because I am assuming that when you choose this college, this stream, you would be in 12th, right?
Yes, sir.
And at that particular stage of life, how clear you were to go for an MBA after this program? Why? But like, what's the major reason behind the same?
So, sir, if I could probably reiterate it a little bit. So, I went from the attraction towards the curriculum and then to probably, let's say, the profession. So, I, as an individual, wanted to, have an exposure to a great variety of subjects at a certain level instead of, let's say, developing expertise in a limited range of subjects that better suited my personality per se. So, because of the program structure of MBA and, a precursor to that IPM, that was the first major reason as I had gone through the course structure and I saw that I would be exposed to a variety of disciplines, let's say from economics and statistics to humanities and social sciences. The second, as my experience in Amindor validated this, is that the superlative culture of peer learning, which is offered at any premier business institution, is unparalleled. So a lot of the things which, apart from the traditional ambit of the curriculum of any college, you get to learn a lot from your peers and your educators. So that was also some other reason. Thirdly, I felt that, before joining any corporate or placement scenario, it would be better if I could get certain industry exposure. So this also is provided a lot by any MBA or as a precursor to that IPM degree through the various industry exposures and conferences by, premier people in the corporate world. So these were few of the reasons why I chose management as a career after that.
Okay. Great to hear that, Anindya. So, any particular stream that you are interested in MBA? Since now you are in the IPM program, you would be well aware about the different streams and offerings.
So, sir, my eventual goal is to develop a career in public policy. So, because of that, I would be, let's say, interested in roles for consulting and general management, as they would enable me to work in an industry in a particular sector for a good amount of years to kind of gauge the corporate landscape of that particular industry and the allied companies per se. And that would help me eventually transition or eventually, merge into a public policy role at the same company which I would be joining.
So, by public policy, what do you mean? Like, can you just elaborate?
Sure, sir. So there are two aspects to public policy. One is the formulation aspect of it, like how do you design effective policies for, the destitute masses in terms of education or social, and then is the execution part of it, that how do you fine tune the theory with the practice, and how do you apply it in real world business scenarios, let's say with profitable intentions also in mind. So I'm more interested in the latter dimension, as I feel that in a emerging landscape where public and private partnerships are the norm instead of pure government initiatives. I feel this is the sector which can grow a lot, where through profitable mechanism designs, you can ensure that you also commit some CSR and those educational activities. At the same point of time, you also maintain a profitable balance sheet and all those things. So I'm more interested in the latter part of it.
Okay. So just wanted to understand. So if you are interested towards public policy making and a generic establishing norms, so don't you think that rather than MBA or a business world, which is being quite capitalist in the nature, you should try for any government service that gives you a complete platform, which for what you dream for. Don't you think that way?
Sure, sir. So I've thought about that a little bit. So as I see, is that with a, a slightly unstable world order, even traditional budgets of government for, let's say, welfare expenditure and allied fields is also not as certain as it used to be. And eventually, as it is seen that the domain of, let's say, welfare policy or some other implementational policy is being increasingly pursued through public-private partnerships rather than pure government initiatives. So, if I could give an example regarding that recently the government was planning to, increase the expenditure for PM Kisan Nidhi, which is the annual monthly 6,000 installment which is paid to farmers. So instead of purely from a top-down perspective, they actually took help of small cooperatives, and this is being seen at the corporate level also, where the government is partnering with premier responsible corporate institutions like Tata's and Bildas to implement and collectively design programs which can be jointly implemented. So I feel that this route is more suited for me because I would have a corporate understanding of the same through an MBA degree, and I could use my expertise in a particular sector to kind of develop in the same rather than having a overarching, let's say, outlook in the form of a government service.
Okay, good to hear that. So Anindya, like tell me more about your family background. Like who all are there in your family?
Sure, sir. So I come from a nuclear family. So my family composes of me, my mother, and my father. We all are, we don't have any siblings. So that's our family basically. So my mother teaches psychology and marketing at a private school in Delhi. And my father is a faculty of operations management in a government university called Indraprastha University in Delhi. So, and or we, as I said, we come from a family of educators. So both of them are professors or teachers in their own regard.
Okay, so like that's the general trend. Like the parents, if they are doctors, a child also goes to become a doctor. So was there not in your family culture like any particular like didn't they just force you to come in the education field, or how was it? Just wanted to understand.
So, sir, this is actually not something of a dynasty related thing. So, my grandfathers, from both sides, their profession was something else. So, it was more of a coincidence that both of them transitioned from the industry to a teaching line. So, because of that, they are not too much insistent on putting me into the same profession. So,
Okay, good to hear that. So any question you have for me?
no, sir, within the confines of this interview, I don't.
So great, Anindya. I think we will stop here. I've noted down few points, which are both pros and cons. So I'll start first with the pros for your interview. So you had a good rational and reason for the stream that you would want to enter. ठीक है, that you had a good well defined reason, so that is good. I think if you have practiced it, great. Because as you mentioned that you want to enter into consulting, and how through consulting and with the objective also, so I think that gave a good base. It was looking logical, okay, and that way it was good. Second good point was in the YMBA part, you gave 3 points. So second and third point was good. I would say first point ko it was also okay, but it should not come on the first go,
Okay.
because priority wise, second point you told about on the network part, the network, and third was on the peer learning, right? Since you have been exposed to Amindore culture and all, and first point you gave for the different sort of academics. So I think overall it was good in the second and third point. First point you can frame it well, because you emphasize a lot on the first point, so that should not look like you are just there to get exposure to the different fields of academics. I think that is okay. Matlab, everyone goes to that. It's nothing special. You can, in any degree you can get different exposure and all. MBA is not only just one thing. That's what I'm saying. Need to be more practical. But yes, you handle it well in the second and third point with the good peer learning and the network part. So that was good, right? What more you could have included is the you can make it more look like more practical, like since you wanted to enter into public sort of policy making, and wanted to have a change through a business point of view. So that way, that angle maybe you can bring that this is one of the reason, or maybe how MBA will help you to do this, right? Maybe you will get the opportunity to work with the people, with the government people also through this way, right? Because a lot of MBAs work with the government agencies, right? Government people, and there's also I'll tell you a interesting anecdote. I know few of people who have completed their MBA from top B schools. They are now directly working with government political parties also, like some being advisor to them, right? And some being a chief of staff for them. That is true. Matlab, you can search it on LinkedIn as well. So not just they are working through consulting, but they are directly working with the government. So you have a very good reason to come through that way in the sector that you like, right? My college alumni, I can give you my example only. FMS alumni, there are two alums. Recently, one became the president of Mauritius, and second became the high commissioner to Mauritius, right? So these people now are directly involved in the policy making, policy, whatever, like the sector that you were talking about. So you can link, because that will be a very strong point in your case if you have that aspiration. That is good to have, right? So that way, now coming to some cons part. So when your TMAY needs to be more crisp and
Okay.
to the point that it captures attention. So in a way, and I'll tell you, there is a behavioral aspect also which was missing in your conversation. You had the communication and the content, but certain confidence you need to boost up, right? You need to come more candid and more confident person. That was missing, right? At least you need to commit to at least average, right? So that confidence will come with how much pauses you are taking, how well articulate you are, right? How much articulation you are able to make, right? I hope you understand how you articulate your thoughts, right? It should not go in a plain one way
Okay.
communication. You need to have pauses, maybe you need to emphasize on particular point. So that way, how better you can articulate, that will help you to improve your confidence. So that confidence will come when you're talking without any fear, and you are like, this is your day today, you will just blast it, right? That spirit you need to take, increase your confidence, and I think content wise you're okay. And
Such, does the length of the introduction need to be shortened a little bit,
yeah,
or
I'm
the?
coming to that part only.
Okay.
So I've written it. Few of your answers were too verbose. Like I can say
Mm.
the YMBA part was too verbose. You need to, not very much verbose, but you need to trim it down. Maybe if it was 300 words, you can maybe put it down to 250 words. or maybe it was going 2 minutes, you can maybe bring it down to 1.5 minutes, right? Don't make your answers look too verbose. It should not go beyond 1 minute. Any answer, 1.25 minutes. That is okay, because see, this is an interview, right? This is not a like a VAT or a GD, or this is interview. Be crisp, be confident, so that this gives opportunity for the interviewer to talk more, right? If you are being giving wrong answers, the time span would be very less then. Okay, so I think, yeah, that
Sure.
was my feedback for you. Otherwise the
Okay.
content was okay. Just the pointers which I have shared with you, make sure you are working on that part, and I think rest is good to go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any suggestion to make the policy transition while answer little bit more foolproof?
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a very good point that you have, and if it's actually a real aspiration that you carry, I don't think so. You should face any problem. I can tell you how. You can maybe give certain examples for supporting your answer. Like, you can say that I've seen many people who have graduated from the top B school. This is not an exact answer, just a thought. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot give you the exact answer now. So you can say that I have seen many people coming from the top B schools who are directly working with the government, and that is where they're influencing the policy making, serving to the larger issue, and simultaneously improving the public private partnerships and contributing to the economy, whatever matlab, that
Sure.
should be the content. So you can when you quote example now, I remember, I think in your answer you quoted one example. I'm forgetting.
The PM Kisan Nidhi.
Absolutely correct. So that gives a base to your answer, that someone is supporting through incidents and he knows about things. So he's
Sure.
not saying just for the sake of it, because that's why you supported that the PM Yojana is now being driven by public private partnership, and what all loopholes in terms of the funding that they are facing. So that shows the base and the depth of your preparation and your seriousness.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
that way you need to quote certain examples wherever possible. Okay, I was
Sure.
not judging today on the basis of the example that you were giving, but I think if you can in the your
Okay.
answer, as you were telling about the public policy wala cheez, so that will be really great. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, and all the best.